Hello, you tuned in to Katie Talk 101. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up when you come through the building. All right, so if you've seen the title, you see I'm talking about Kanye West. It looks like Kanye West got himself in some hot water. As you guys know, he is, sometimes out of control and he just runs off at the mouth. I really don't know. Well, I kind of do know. I think it has something to do with his mental illness. I don't know if he's off his meds, but I'm going to say this. George Floyd's daughter, she decided to send Kanye West a cease and desist. Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys make sure you hit that thumbs up when you come through the building. So as you can see, I'm talking about Kanye West. So this news came through TMZ. So George Floyd's daughter, she ended up announcing a $250 million lawsuit versus Kanye West. Kanye ended up saying some things on a podcast, and I think it's called Drink Champs. So he ended up saying that it was a fentanyl overdose that George Floyd ended up having. And he said, I believe, quote unquote, his knee really wasn't on his neck like that. So they ended up sending him a cease and desist. And it's just basically telling, if you guys know what a cease and desist is, it's saying shut up and keep my brother's name out of your mouth. That's basically what it's saying. So Witherspoon, as you can see, the cease and desist is right here. It's dated on October 18th, 2022. And it's just basically telling him that he is committing what they would call, I think they call it defamation, and he's actually putting out false information. So they're telling him he needs to be quiet. I think it'll be really, really smart for Kanye to go ahead and send out an apology letter to their family. And I think that probably would, yes, hit the like for my sister. Thank you. Thank you so much. Who said Darren Williams? Thank you so much. So, yeah, if he just go ahead and send out that apology letter, I think he could kind of smooth it over. But it's looking like right now, he's looking at $250 million. And, I know Kanye a couple of years ago became a billionaire, but $250 million is a lot of money. I don't care if you are very, very rich. It's still a loss and it's a lot of money, especially due to you just running your mouth about stuff that you really don't know about. So TMZ has this little recording of Kanye basically explaining what got him into this almost lawsuit. You guys take a listen to this, and this is fair use. Hit the like button and shout out to the chat. Okay, hold on. Let me get past this ad right quick.
We know what we want from our birth control, so we chose hormone.
I don't know what this is. Okay. Oh. So basically, Kanye was saying his foot really went on his neck like that, and he was saying, hold on, I think I can find it right here. Yeah, and he was basically just saying that he was on drugs, and that's why he died. And I think there's another situation that went on with, I believe it was Alex Jones. Alex Jones ended up getting like $1 billion lawsuit from the Sandy Hook family because he was allegedly saying he think that Sandy Hook was a scam. So their family ended up filing one against him. So you just can't, after the judge has rendered, after he rendered his verdict, people are not allowed to just go somewhere and say whatever they want to say. You still got to watch what you say, even though there is something called freedom of speech. You still got to watch what you say. Okay, let's see what this say here. Take a listen.
Come rain or shine, the job must get done. We get you, Steve in Denver and Kay in Fresno, always making it happen. And we're here for you with 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So what say you about what Kanye said and what the family of George Floyd might do?
Well, just personally, I was really extremely disappointed. And it's I guess, a bit strange to be continually disappointed by Kanye West, but I didn't hear about his statements until Sunday morning when the brother of George Floyd, Clonis, gave me a call and said he was irate. He was extremely hurt by the statements that Kanye West made. I had to go look up the interview and see that he was now blaming a drug overdose, a theory that was well debunked in court, as you all pointed out, something that is clearly not the reason that George Floyd died. He died as a result of Derek Chauvin's knee and the other officers compressing his body in a prone position. And now he's promulgating those statements anew in a way that it almost seemed designed to cause the family distress. And so they reached out to me, specifically his brother, and asked that we begin to investigate whether or not we can restrain him from making such statements and hold him accountable for the misinformation that he's putting out there.
How serious are they about doing something against Kanye West?
I know that Clonis Floyd, for example, was bothered that I said we were considering lawsuits. He is absolutely committed to bringing lawsuits, and I've heard from other members of the family who are represented by various parties saying that they are absolutely 100% moving forward with litigation against Kanye West and anyone else who would defend George Floyd and his reputation.
Part of what makes this so upsetting for the family is that after George was murdered, Kanye West is one of many people, celebrities who reached out, and I believe he even made a donation to pay for George's daughter's college tuition. So I know there was some appreciation that was expressed by the family back then, and then now to hear him saying things like this.
You know, that actually did come up in the conversation I had with Clonis.
I'm going to pause it right there. I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. So as you guys heard what he just said, after George Floyd ended up passing, Kanye actually made a donation towards his daughter's college fund. So I just feel like maybe Kanye was just out of his body when he said what he said. Like I said, I think it'd be smart for him to actually write an apology letter personally to the family, not saying that that'll erase the hurt that he probably caused them by saying what he said, but I think it's a start. So that'll be my advice to Kanye West. Just watch what you say. Anything you say can and will be used against you, especially when everyone knows that you have money. So getting off into something else. And a big shout out to Monique. As you guys, Monique is a comedian. She's been really hot since like the early 90s. Very funny female comedian. So she is actually, I know you guys hold on. I know you guys heard Monique doing a whole lot of venting and things like that as far as dealing with Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah. But she's about to make a documentary, basically just speaking on the things that Oprah did to her. And yeah, Monique.
Oprah Winfrey, people are beginning to see you for who you are.
Oprah is known for changing people's lives for the better.
But why is she accused of ruining actor Monique's life?
How do you, as a black woman, watch another black woman be thrown under the bus based off of a lie?
She trusted Oprah with her secrets.
I shared my relationship with her about my mother.
But then
I began to see commercials with my mother, with my brother.
Monique's older brother, Gerald, comes clean.
I did inappropriately touch my sister.
He abused you from the time you were 7.
Oprah Winfrey, what you did was malicious, and it was intentional, and it was ugly.
But after Monique finally stood up for herself, she was attacked.
Started getting labeled as difficult.
For 8 years, my family has suffered, and my career has suffered.
Monique is in the media right now. Why don't you address it?
Oh my gosh, it's impossible. You can't meet negative energy where it is.
Oprah has disrespected victims many times in her career.
Is Monique gonna be the one to finally take down Oprah?
Oprah Winfrey, I'm never, ever gonna...
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there, but I'm gonna finish playing it. But I'm gonna say this so far. I don't really think that, Monique should just strive and push to take anyone down. But I think Monique is in a place where she was hurt by a person who she idolized. That's why I always hear some people say you should never meet your idol because it's never going to be what you think. But I think Monique is just in a position where, the sister is hurt. And she's at least looking for Oprah to acknowledge the hurt that she did towards her. And I think, like I said, sometimes it's just the small steps that you take and step out and reach out to somebody and say, hey, if I did this and I wrong you, I apologize. I think that would be a start. But as far as going so far to say, you know, she'll be the one to take Oprah down, I really don't think that should be a goal to take anyone down. Because, I mean, for you to take them down, you will have to get down as well. Let me finish letting this play. You guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I see it's a couple of people coming in and out. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up when you come in the building. It'll kind of push the video out and let other people see it. So please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. You tuned in to Katie Talk 101. I'm going to let this finish playing.
Stop hiding. You know what you need to do. A lot of people say, how could you say that? Oprah is a human being. She bleeds, she breathes, and one day she'll expire. And if you feel like there's something you need to say to anyone, I feel like you should say it.
When it comes to Oprah and Monique's falling out, it's actually more complicated than it seems. We discovered that it's deeply personal. So both Oprah and Monique grew up in very abusive households. Monique had always looked up to Oprah ever since she was young.
I'm a little black fat girl from Baltimore, Maryland. And I saw this fat black woman on a TV show. We took a field trip to that studio. And I hugged that woman. And I said, when I grow up, Miss Winfrey, I want to do what you do. And she said, you know, you got to work really hard.
And she did just that. She worked extremely hard and achieved her dreams.
But you know what? Sometimes hard work is just not enough. You have to work hard. You also have to make sacrifices. And I think for me saying sacrifices, sometimes you got to sacrifice the time with your family. You guys finish listening to this, and you'll see what I'm saying.
Becoming a stand-up comedian. And every time her path crossed with Oprah, they grew closer and closer.
That when hubby said, when I look at you, I ain't doing nothing but looking at me. And I shared my relationship with her about my mother, as she shared hers with me.
And so by the time she got her big break doing the movie Precious, it was a great opportunity for her to work with Lee Daniels, which was an old friend, and Oprah as well. Everybody was so used to seeing Monique as a comedian that nobody was expecting her to do such a great job.
And you know what? That is so true. I was always, you know, seeing Monique on the Parkers, stand-up comedian. But when she played that role as Precious' mother, oh my God, did she play that role? She played that role. Okay, you guys take a listen to this.
The first thing I said to her was, who's your favorite designer? Because you need to get your dress ready to walk down that red carpet to the Oscars, girl.
Everyone was talking about Monique's performance. Now producers are wanting to fly her around the world. They want her to promote the movie. But at this point, her priorities had already shifted.
There was a request from the movie studio that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Okay, so they requested that she fly to France and go to the film festival to promote the film. And I'm going to say this. Yes, we have family, but we also have business and we have work to tend to. And her flying over there advertising that movie was basically a part of her work in promoting her movie. So I think there was a situation where she probably should have went on and went. She probably should have went to France. But I'm not going to hold it against her. I'm going to let this finish and I'm going to finish saying what I think. Here we go.
I simply said, I respectfully decline. And I said to them, my deal is with Lee Daniels, and I've done my job. I did all of my contractual obligations, and I was done.
Why wouldn't she want to go to Cannes?
At this point, she'd already had 2 failed marriages. By the 3rd marriage, she was desperate to spend time with her family.
I understand she had 2 failed marriages, and she wanted to spend time with her family, but you also have work as well. You know what they say, if we don't work, we don't eat. And to my knowledge, Monique's current husband is her manager as well. So he most definitely should have, I think, been the one around her, pushing her and telling her to go ahead. Monique, we got to get this money, baby. Hey, if we want to set it up like it's a family trip, let's set it up like a family trip and let's go over here and do this advertising for this movie, Precious. Because turned out the movie did rather well. But I think with her having her husband as her manager, I think it's way more feelings put in around the business. And they're not looking at it in a business mind with him being her manager. I really don't, my personal opinion, I don't think her husband should be the manager for her, because it seems like her career has basically declined since he's been the manager. But I'm gonna let this finish.
When they called, I had a couple days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. I said, guys, I'm spending time with my family. I'm going to pass. And they all agreed.
Monique thought she had the support of everybody, Oprah, the producers, but it was far from the truth.
We were on the campaign and she was making unreasonable demands. You got to play ball. This is not just show. It's show business.
And the backlash.
Okay, when he say unusual demands, I don't know if he mean. I really don't know what he mean by that, because he didn't really explain himself when he said she was making unusual demands or whatever. But I just think with her saying no to some people that's in power over her, and I believe, looking at the fact that they didn't have any kind of partnership or investment actually in the movie, like, I don't think her name was on a co-producer or anything like that dealing with the movie. And I think that the paperwork dealing with that movie should have been done a little better, because to my knowledge, I believe Monique made $50,000 off of Precious, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to look that up, though. But take a listen to the rest of this.
It got worse.
I got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate. When you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood.
But this isn't the only difficulty that Monique is facing at the time. So while she's getting backlash because she wasn't playing the game, Monique had been betrayed by somebody that she never saw coming. This is where things...
And I think I could say another place where Monique probably went wrong. She put, the fact that she kind of idolized Oprah, and, she looked at Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry like, these are my brothers. This is my sister that I strive to be like I went on a field trip and met this wonderful woman. She's looking at it in those eyes, and she's not, I think the problem was she wasn't looking at it in the eyes of this is a business, and it will highly, highly be rewarding to me if I would have went to France and advertised and promoted that movie a little bit more. I think there was something that kind of got in the way of her business, was her feelings, mixing business with feelings and friendships. Hey, what's up with your Black Sean? Hey, what's up, Sean? Good to see you. Good to see you. And shout out to everybody that's in the chat or that may come. Shout out to you, Sean. Make sure you share the video out, most definitely. So I was over here talking about Kanye West. He ended up saying what he said about George Floyd. He don't feel like he got choked out by the knee on his neck. And he said he think it was a fentanyl overdose. So that was at the beginning. Now we're talking about Oprah. Monique made a whole documentary on Oprah in the situation with her. But like I was saying, with that situation, I just think Monique should have put her feelings to the side and looked at it as this is a business. I need to get out here and promote this movie, because the movie did rather well. And I know some people think, well, it had just been, Monique and her husband out there promoting the movie. You never know how many people they could reach if they would have got out there and, just did they advertisement for the movie. It could have did even more better. And then the fact that her husband could have wrote up the paperwork a little bit different, where she could actually be like a co-producer in the movie. That way, when the movie makes more money than what she was paid, she can reap more benefits if she was a co-producer in the movie. But like I said, I don't really think her husband is just the one that she needs as her manager, because Monique is a very talented, very funny woman. I've been watching Monique since I was young, since junior high school, watching the Parkers. So I remember Monique, and I'm going to say this, with me, being a bigger girl, I've been up and down trying to lose weight and stuff. But I'm going to say this, for me, just like when she said she idolized Oprah, because she looked at her like, I'm a fat black woman from Baltimore, and I seen this other fat black woman who was Oprah, and she was striving and thriving out there in the journalistic field, and she strived to be like that. So I can remember being in elementary, watching the Parkers, watching Monique, this plus size black woman, and then watching her little chubby daughter, Kim, and watching them being funny and all of that. And I remember looking at that, and we kind of see ourselves when we look on TV and see people like us. But let this finish. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Here we go.
From professional to deeply personal. What happened?
Oprah Winfrey called us up, and she said my brother wanted to come on the show.
Your older brother you described as a monster, and he abused you.
Yes.
From the time you were
7.
How did he abuse you? Are we talking about sexual abuse?
Yes. She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. But I wanted to call you up to see how you felt first.
Okay, so when she said that, then Oprah turned around. She told Oprah she didn't want her brother on the show, but Oprah still turned around and did it. I think it should have been, if Oprah knew she was still going to do it, she should have came to her and said, look, sister, Monique, your brother want to come on the show and tell his side of the story. So we already had a discussion about it. I'm going to still bring him, but I wanted to give you a heads up and let you know, instead of asking her, is it okay? And then she say no, and you still bring him. Like, that's a form of disrespect.
Monique thought Oprah had her back, but that was not the case.
I began to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother. Now, the reason why that means so much is because in the conversation we had about my brother.
What did you say? Harpo was wrong. Yes, Harpo was wrong.
We then went deeper, and we began to talk about our relationships with our mothers and our fathers. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm going to have your mother, I would have said, shut it down.
Not only are you betrayed by somebody that you thought was your friend, but somebody that has lived the same experience as you and should.
When it comes to getting clicks, views, revenue, you don't have any friends out there in the business. I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier. I just think Monique let her feelings get involved in this situation like way too much. You don't have any friends out here when it comes to money. When it comes to her having the brother on there, she knew that was going to draw in views. They're on there talking about sensitive topics like abuse, that kind of stuff. With Monique being who she is, it was going to draw in views. So she didn't really even care about how Monique felt about it. She was just looking for the click and the view. And as much money as Oprah has, I don't think she should have even been in that mode. That's like click and view, kind of like what people call clout chasing. For her to have Monique brother on there, especially since Oprah went through the similar things when she was growing up too.
Know how deep that would hurt.
It probably was a really bad mistake on Oprah's part, but according to Monique, Oprah didn't apologize for it. So one night at a party, Monique had a chance to confront her.
I looked to Oprah Winfrey and I said, you and I need to have this conversation.
You know what, it would have been really crazy if they showed like a little quick clip of Monique just punching Oprah. And showing her face going like this to the side. Like, just kidding. I don't condone violence over here, okay?
Why would you have my mother on your show? And she said, if you think I did something wrong, I want to apologize. No, Oprah.
That's not a real apology. Don't ever come to me and you did something and you're going to say, if you think. You know what you did. If you're going to apologize, you just apologize and that's it. Don't say if you think. You did something wrong to her, Oprah. You was wrong.
It ain't what I think. You did do something wrong. You had full intentions of having my parents on your show and not saying anything to me.
Yeah.
And that's what hurts the worst. Behind anything that goes on, I think intent is really important. The intentions that you had when you did something. It's one thing for somebody to do something and not really know that it was going to hurt you or hurt your feelings. But for someone to intentionally do something and they knew that it was going to hurt you, that's wrong.
Ever actually apologize?
No. And she doesn't really address Monique. Even when she's asked about her in interviews, this is what she said.
It's impossible. If you meet negative with negative, you will just have a combusted negative force and negative energy. You have to rise above it. You have to transcend it. You have to.
See, you sitting up here talking about negative and me negative with negative. You talking about a whole bunch of BS. And I'm going to tell you why, Oprah. Because you ended up doing something that was negative by bringing her family on there. You know she didn't want that. So you being negative, you just trying to use that for an excuse to not deal with what you done to Monique. See, now I see why Monique feel the way she do. And it's been, a good 3 years. I think this stuff been going on since 2017, 2018. We about to be in 2023. And this stuff is still on Monique's heart. And that stuff hurt her. You need to reach out to her, Oprah. This is not right. It ain't right.
The light. So by this point, Monique was just fed up of people in positions of power taking advantage of her.
You begin to see deals that you had that just went away. You begin to see things not make sense. I'm unapologetic and I'm unwavering about it. Because when I see this woman, Oprah Winfrey, how do you as a black woman watch another black woman be thrown under the bus?
I'll tell you how. When you don't care about black people. When you don't care about your own people, you're not going to care about how they feel, what they going through. She's not the one that's going down to the hood, putting money into education. She went over there to Africa and some very questionable things happened at the school that she built in Africa. So look at the past and what this woman has done. Look how she invited those so-called victims of the great late Michael Jackson. Shout out to him and his family. Brought them on her show to defame him in his death, after his death. So this is a woman who don't care about nobody. But one thing about it, I believe us as a people mess up when we idolize these people and put them up on a pedestal, almost in a godlike form. We mess up when we do that. That's why it's so easy for these people to continue to do what they do. We got to stop idolizing these people, look at them and hold them accountable for the wrong things that they do. And I know Monique looked up to her. Like she said, she went on a field trip and met Oprah when she was younger. And she told her, I want to be like you. So this is like double hurt. So you can understand why it's been, like 4 years, 3-4 years, knocking on 5, I think. It's been 3-4 years since Monique has been going through this hurt. So I know some people may look up and be like, oh, she's still talking about it. Yeah, she's still talking about it because it haven't been patched up. My heart go out to you, Monique.
Based off of a lie. What I won't do is be quiet. I won't go away. I won't back down.
And so when she was offered an unfair deal by Netflix, she decided to push back.
The offers just didn't make sense. If we continue to accept these low offers, however do we make it different and make a change? I've got to speak up and speak out. And I've got to say it's blatantly unfair.
What was unfair about it?
She was offered $500,000 to do a Netflix special, a comedy special. The problem is that other comedians, like the Amy Schumers of the world, is that like she's getting offered like $10-11 million.
Like $500,000 is still a lot of money. But then when you find out it's $500,000 versus $11 million.
Monique also has a resume. She had won the Oscar. She had a talk show. So it wasn't like she was just some loser. It was more so the principle and not necessarily the amount.
Monique is suing Netflix for discrimination.
Did she win?
They actually settled, of course, undisclosed amounts. I'm not sure, but she did end up agreeing to a special and a film with Lee Daniels.
Another one?
Yeah, because he actually ended up apologizing to her.
See, look, she did another film with Lee Daniels, so that show you. All Monique wanted was some acknowledgement and apology. some acknowledgement. Yes, I swatted you. Yes, I was wrong. Okay, let's get to this business. That's all she wanted. That's all she wanted from Oprah. That's it.
I'm so sorry.
And see, that made it even better that he did it on the stage in front of people. That made it even better.
Monique didn't back down against those that had more power than her. She fought until she won because she understood that this fight was bigger than just her.
If it helps the next young lady who's not here yet to get proper wages, to be treated fairly, to be respected, I'll take the charge.
I know that's right. See, it needs to be more people in the game with a heart and a mind like Monique, because she not only just thinks about her husband, and her family. She's thinking about the actors, the Black women, the women, the people that's coming up behind her. And I think that's how we make for a better business. That's how we make for a better community. You know, that's how we make for a better entertainment industry and a better world if everybody thought like this. I mean, you got to reach back. What they say, you got to push it forward so everything and the blessings can keep coming to you.
I'll take it if it's going to make the next one get what she deserves.
I know that's right. Yes, I feel you, Monique. I'm with you. I'm with Monique. I'm riding with Monique. What do you guys think about the Kanye West situation? He received the cease and desist. It was dated on October the 18th. So they told him, hey, shut your mouth, shut the F up about my family. And what do you think about Monique going through with the documentary that she's doing on Oprah? You guys, make sure you chime down in that comment section. What's up, Keita D? What's up, Keita? I didn't even see Keita out there. Shout out to Keita. Man, shout out to everybody that came through. Those who spoke in the comment section and even those who didn't. You know, I was back from a long hiatus. I had to get everything together, and you know, I kind of relocated, so I had to get everything together. So I finally got it together, and I will be back with you guys most definitely. I'm going to be looking to see what's going on. Let's see. Keita said, "OMG, I missed you." I missed you too, Keita. I missed you too. She said, "I missed you since March." Yeah, I think it was March or April. It was one of them. The last time, I think the last video I did was when Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, when Kevin Samuels had passed. I think that was the last video I actually did. And, you know, Kevin Samuels had ended up passing, and it's been a lot of changes out here in these YouTube streets, you know, but I'm most definitely going to make a comeback. I may come back later. I'm going to be looking through some news articles and see what else is going on. But yes, you guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And I'm back, you guys. So most definitely, y'all make sure y'all hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel. If you unsubscribe from me, go ahead and subscribe again. And shout out to you. See you later.